morning, good afternoon, hello wherever you are out in the world today. My name is Jonathan Shields, 29 years old, St. Petersburg, Florida. This is just a little bit about me real quick. I'm just here right now to share a little bit about my story. I feel that it can help somebody, anybody really, who's ever made a mistake and had to live with the consequences of those mistakes. Sometimes we think like it's the worst thing ever and we'll never recover from that. And a lot of the time we feel like society is looking down on us and shaming us. But I'm just here, to say you can get through, you can overcome, and you can be successful after your mistakes in life. So my story, about 6-7 years ago, I got into an incident where I was arrested and charged with armed robbery, and I sat in jail for about 5 months, 5.5 months or something like that. And it was a scary experience for me, being that I have never been in trouble before. And here I was, I just made this mistake, and now I'm labeled for life as a convicted felon. Now, it took me a while to realize and actually understand, but just because I have that label, just because I'm labeled by the system as a convicted felon, it doesn't mean that I have to live as one. I don't have to let that label define who I am. But it took me a while to get through that. But yeah, so I ended up getting a 6-year sentence, probation. And if you've never had probation before, it sounds sweet at first, but it's really not. It's tough to adhere to some rules, knowing that you have free, you got one foot in, one foot out, and it can be tough. And I made it through that, actually. Thank God I made it through that. June 2018, I finished my 6-year probation period. And during that period of time, it was ups and downs, where I thought that I would never be able to amount to anything. I mean, because look at me now, I'm a convicted felon. And, employers look at that, like, what kind of good job can I really have? And fortunately, in my situation, while I was in jail, the only thing that could keep me calm was to draw. I like to draw, paint, art is my thing. And that was the only thing that could keep me calm. And some of the inmates there, they saw that and they recognized it. And in jail, your currency is snacks, food, commissary, whatever. So they would, pay me in that form. And then I thought about it. I said, when I get out of jail, I'm going to start a clothing line. I'm going to start a clothing brand, because, I thought about it. Like, when I was in high school, I did all this hand-painted custom designs and stuff, and it made me a little money or whatever. And I never really, pushed it too much further than that. But now that I'm seeing, in here, okay, people actually will pay you to do, to draw, people like that. So I said, I'm going to start a clothing brand. And I did that. And my first run was a small city Big Dreams t-shirts for the city where I'm from, St. Pete, Florida. You know, just shed a little light on my city. Real quick, we just a bunch of talented individuals here that come from St. Pete. So I did that, and you know, I got into how I had to figure out how to create multiple designs without hand painting, you know. So I taught myself how to do graphic design through the YouTube University. Actually, proud graduate, YouTube University, yeah. So I taught myself, you know, I had to take that initiative to I had to push myself to get something that I wanted, you know. And when you're in my type of situation, like, you know, nobody's handing you nothing, like, it's already hard. It's already hard, one. And then when you add, you know, that factor that, okay, he has a felony, it just makes it 10 times harder. So I had to get creative, you know. I had to figure out ways, like, you know, what can I do to make money? And I figured, like, this is my best bet right here. Like, this is something that I love to do. It's something that I'm good at. Nobody can take this away from me. So I've been on this journey, you know, now almost eight years since I've taught myself how to do graphic design. And I've turned it into a business, and now I offer, you know, website design, logo design, flyers, business card designs, like a whole branding package. Like I took that initiative. So what I'm saying is, you know, and on top of that, you know, I'm investing in 2 new businesses, you know, and I'm becoming my own boss, you know. They made the rules, like, they don't play fair, but those are the rules. Like, you got a convicted felon, it's really hard for you to get a decent job, you know. So I'm making my own way, and that's what I'm here to say. Like, you don't have to, you know, bow down to that, you know. It's stuff that you don't even really recognize that you're good at, that you love, and those things you don't even realize, but those things that you like and love and you're good at, that people will pay you for that, you know, for whatever that is. If you make candles, or if you're really good with kids and you know you want to do babysitting services, or you're really good at washing cars, or whatever it is, cooking, whatever it is, people will pay you for that. So I'm just here to say, like, don't give up, you know, keep the faith, stay strong. And it's tough. Yeah, it gets tough. You know, I have my moments where, you know, I wanted to give up and shut down, and luckily I had friends that encouraged me, and that's also good to have a support system, because when you're going through that journey of, you know, trying to come back, it's hard, you know. What that period that, you know, you were locked up, you know, you were in jail or whatever, or, you know, the world didn't stop because of that. Like, the world kept moving, and now you have to play this catch up. You have to work 10 times, 20 times harder to get to a comfortable spot. Not even like really a good spot, but just like a comfortable spot where you can say, like, wow, man, I'm good here. It's tough, but you get you a support system. You know, encourage yourself. You know, you can't beat yourself down. You know, you did what you did. You made your mistake. You know, push through it. Get over it. You know, don't let it hinder you. Don't let it hold you back from getting whatever it is God has in store for you. I'm telling you, man. Like, I fought it for so long, and now, like I just told my best friend the other day, like, it's really coming full circle now, because so many doors and so many opportunities are being presented to me, and it's just all because I never gave up. You know, I stayed consistent. You know, I stayed hungry. You know, you got to. You know, and unless you want to stay stagnant. I don't know anybody who does, but I'm telling you, it's a beautiful feeling to see the things that I worked so hard for. You know, these are the things that nobody can take away from me, and I'm so glad that I did it. I'm so glad that I stayed on the path. I'm so glad that I pushed through, because now I'm starting to see my dreams unfold. And it's a beautiful thing, like to see my dreams laid right here in front of me, and to see the things that I talked about being put into action, to see the things that I designed people wear, you know. It's beautiful. But I just wanted to share a little piece of that story with you, to let you know you can do it too. I did it, you can do it too. It's tough, it's hard, but you know, we made the choice. We made the decision to do whatever it is that we did, and now you can either just lay down, or you can rise up. I chose to rise up. What will you do?